Welcome to the Healing Circle. Here are some strategies that we're going to need going forward in 2026. Take a pause. We're going to have to pay attention to nervous system literacy, not just self-care. In 2026, healing is going to be less about doing more self-care, and it's going to be more about understanding how stress actually moves through the body. Because we can be focusing on an area of self-care that is not specific to our personal need. And so we're going to have to lean into more education on our own nervous system literacy. People heal faster when they can recognize whether I'm activated or whether I'm safe. When they can recognize whether I'm overloaded or I'm exhausted. And also when they can recognize the difference between shutdown and the need for rest. So some of the things that we're going to lean into is breathing. Proper breathing that will help to relieve muscle tension and will cause us to respond in a way and not to collapse under burnout. Another thing we're going to lean into in 2026. Stop, listen, this is important, very crucial. Micro recovery instead of time off. Long breaks are harder to assess and less effective when systems are overloaded. So in 2026, we're going to heal in a way that favors more frequent, small regulation moments. 30 to 60 minutes of grounding, one conscious breath between tasks, and we're going to have to be very consistent. It's going to be a year for consistency. We're going to reset the body daily, or even more than once daily, twice daily. So we're going to begin to normalize. The strategy is to normalize from the inside. That's where we can control things on the outside. We're going to normalize from the inside. Deep breathing, conscious breaks between our tasks. Relational healing is something that we are big on in the healing circle instead of going alone. So in 2026, we're going to be big on relational healing over solo healing. Isolation is one of the biggest health stressors of the decade. And we're saying this is a circle where you can come on in, you belong, you can listen, you can be trained. I am in your space with you. Thank you for allowing me to come into your private space. I am in there with you. I'm your accountability partner. I'm sharing the space with you. Relational healing over solo healing. So in 2026, we are going to prioritize safe group spaces. And the Healing Circle right here with Dr. Wilda Mills is one of the places you want to be. Co-regulation, calming with others, listening to others, and sharing. Being witness without fixing. You can be present. We know you're present. We acknowledge your presence, not necessarily from a judgmental perspective to even offer to fix you. Boundaries is going to become a health skill. Yes, boundaries is a wonderful health skill. Boundaries are no longer framed as emotional preferences. They are now recognized as preventative medicine. Let me say that again. Boundaries are no longer framed as emotional preferences. They are recognized as preventative medicine. So in 2026, healing is going to include saying no before resentment appears. Limiting exposure to constant urgency and aggravation. Getting away from attrition, where after those conversations you're belittled and you feel like you have no worth. We're going to set boundaries around those. Protecting attention as a finite resource. We are educated, we are learned, we are smarter than believing that we are infinite. No. And so we're going to protect and attend to ourselves as finite beings. Technology with intention, not escape, but some things, for example, digital overload is one of the most common sources of nervous system dysregulation. And so in 2026, we're not rejecting technology, but we're going to use it deliberately. Short, guided audio practices like what we offer you in the Healing Circle. I'm so proud of your time with us and our spending time together. Intentional screen breaks and fewer inputs and more integration. So we're going to help people to notice how technology is helping them, how it may be numbing them or overstimulating them, and we're going to make right choices. Then number 6, we're going to have meaning, centered healing. So we're not just going to do what we want to do in order to feel better. We're going to do what we should do that makes us feel better. Or we're not just going to do what somebody else wants us to do because that makes them feel better. We're going to do what we ought to do that makes us feel better. So healing in 2026 is going to reconnect people to their values, their purposes, and a sense of contribution that does not require self-sacrifice. Very important. A sense of contribution that does not require self-sacrifice. So we're going to anchor healing in what matters, not necessarily for greater productivity as how others deem it. But when we're anchored, then we're going to produce more efficiently. We're going to produce with meaning. Number 7, sustainability along with transformation. Before we get to the transformation, we're going to be able to sustain ourselves, sustaining the change. Sustaining the change. So it means repeating one thing over and over and over and over, doing it consistently, making it a routine, a welcome routine. When we see that thing, we're going to recognize that our health hinges on doing that. And that is going to cause us to have fewer crises. We're going to recover faster. We're going to trust ourselves even more. And we're going to judge ourselves even less. So if you want to develop that self-trust, begin to practice consistency. And you can pat yourself and say, oh, I can trust myself. I can trust myself. I know that I'm supposed to take micro breaks, and I'm consistent with that. I know that I'm supposed to take a pause and breathe and not get anxious. I know that I'm supposed to listen to my nervous system, my own nervous system. And when I'm faithful to myself, I can trust myself, and that's a great part of healing. See you next time in the Healing Circle, and I want you to go out and get my book, The Healer Needs a Healer. This is Dr. Wilda Mills, where we set you up for your best opportunities within the Healing Circle.